Under which circumstances do equal strings share the same reference? I have searched the web and Stack Overflow questions, but been unable to find an answer to this question. The observation that I've made is that in Python 2.7.3, if you assign two variables the same single character string, for example, then the variables will share the same reference. This is also true for some longer strings. However, there are a lot of cases where the reference is, unexpectedly, not shared. Can someone please explain the reason for this? I suspect there might be simplifications/substitutions made by the interpreter and/or some caching mechanism that makes use of the fact that Python strings are immutable to optimize in some special cases, but what do I know? I tried making deep copies of strings using the str constructor and the copy function, but the strings still inconsistently share references. The reason I'm having problems with this is because I checked for inequality of references to strings in some unit tests I'm writing for clone methods of new style Python classes.
The details of when strings are cached and reused are implementation dependent, can change from Python version to Python version and cannot be relied upon. If you want to check strings for equality, use ==, not is. In Python, the most commonly used Python implementation, string literals that occur in the source code are always interned, so if the same string literal occurs twice in the source code, they will end up pointing to the same string object. In Python 2.x, you can also call the built-in function intern to force that a particular string is interned, but you actually shouldn't do so. Edit regarding you actual aim of checking whether attributes are improperly shared between instances. This kind of check is only useful for mutable objects. For attributes of immutable type, there is no semantic difference between shared and unshared objects. You could exclude immutable types from your tests by using Note that this would also exclude tuples that contain mutable objects. If you wanted to test those, you would need to recursively descend into tuples.
In Python, as an implementation detail, the empty string is shared, as are single character strings whose code point is in the Latin 1 range. You should not depend on this, as it is possible to bypass this feature. You can request a string to be interned using sys.intern. This will happen automatically in some cases. Normally, the names used in Python programs are automatically interned, and the dictionaries used to hold module, class or instance attributes have interned keys. Sys.intern is exposed so that you can use it, after profiling, for performance. Interning strings is useful to gain a little performance on dictionary lookup. If the keys in a dictionary are interned, and the lookup key is interned, the key comparisons, after hashing, can be done by a pointer compare instead of a string compare. Note that intern is a built-in in Python too.
I think it's an implementation and optimization thing. If the string are short, they can, and are often, shared, but you can't depend on that. Once you have longer strings, you can see that they are not the same. Longer strings. Use == to compare strings, and not the is operator. Dash. Ops observation/hypothesis, in the comments below, that this may be due to the number of tokens seems to be supported by the following. if compared with the initial example of ABC above.
If you want to see more, please consider subscribing.